This is the Change Builds Authenticity podcast. I am your host, Dr. James Zetta James, who have been in the field of nursing for over 25 years. After leaving this podcast, I hope that you will become transformed by stepping into authenticity. Get ready to unravel, walk in freedom, and renew your own spirit. Becoming authentic starts with walking in your truth. May the life that you live be an example of how you show up in the world. Our mission here at Change Builds Authenticity Podcast is just that. CHANGE is the method used to transform individuals in your life. Change your mindset. Humble your spirit. Aim to achieve, accept, and adjust your life accordingly. Be nice to others. Be grateful and have an attitude of gratitude. Empower others by telling your story. We welcome the owner of TEMIBEADS, Dr. Feyi. Dr. Feyi, welcome to Change Builds Authenticity Podcast. Happy Black History Month, and today's conversation will help one learn more about the TEMIBEADS foundation and why she started it. So let's just dive right in. All right, Dr. Feyi, welcome to Change Builds Authenticity Podcast. Can you please introduce yourself and let the audience learn more about you and your business and how and why you founded TEMIBEADS?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for the invitation to be on this podcast. My name is Dr. Feyi. I am a PhD prepared nurse researcher. I've been a nurse for over a decade. I am also the owner of TEMIBEADS. My mission at TEMIBEADS is to adorn women in non-stretch waist beads so they have a health and wellness goal and a tangible reminder of the promises that they've made to themselves. That's the mission of the business. As an academic nurse researcher, my interest is always focused around persistence and supporting people to achieve their goals. So it kind of melds together. I was able to bring my nursing interest into my entrepreneurial interest and just kind of meld both to promote and support women's health.
Excellent. I want to say I met Dr. Feyi. We were at a event together, and somehow we happened to sit next to each other. I am an entrepreneur as well. So at that time, I was selling clothes, and me and Dr. Feyi just hit it off, and I turned around, and we have been partners in this academic nursing world, sitting on the American Nurses Association. So we give accordingly, and we give to the gifts that God has blessed us with. Yes. So when you see us, we literally are working in our purpose. We're walking also in that purpose. And we thank God. I thank God for meeting her. She has been a gem and a trailblazer, I like to say. In the field of nursing, she is my nursing colleague, my sister, and I'm grateful to know her and just pleasant on how she runs her TEMIBEADS. It's really a joy to meet her out there in the entrepreneur space. Okay. So if I can ask Dr. Feyi, how does TEMIBEADS fit in with health and wellness?
Well, people think waist beads are a fad. They truly are not. They're traditionally used in African culture. It is, a way to celebrate female body. It is a way to let them know that they're welcome into the world. Babies are wasted. I say wasted, but they're really adorned in waist beads. Really young ages, depending on what tribe they belong to. And so in my role as owner of TEMIBEADS, I call myself the hype girl. I call myself a waist bead dealer. I am a stakeholder in my clients' health and wellness and their success stories. I take this very, very serious. Waist beads to me are not just beads and string. I am holding space for my clients' intentions. I'm holding space for their goals. I am empathizing with them. I am listening to their problems. I am helping them figure out what intentions they're setting as I'm tying the waist beads on them. And so I'm hoping that really those waist beads serve as a tangible reminder of the promises that they've made to themselves and of the goals that they've set for themselves. So that's why I think, it fits in very nicely with health and wellness.
Excellent, because I learned of waist beads as well as just going out to these different small business formats.
Hmm.
And I haven't found, and I'm not just saying this because you are one of my sisters. I'm really saying that people sell waist beads, men, and they don't know how to tie it into health and wellness.
Mm.
I thought it was just about when I saw women in these beads, I was like, oh, that's sexy.
Yep.
I want some of those beads on. And I actually got my waist beads. I got 5 of them. But what I found to be so true and so amazing of wearing these waist beads, and I like the way you tied in health and wellness, because I am in a workout performance class,
Okay.
and we don't use a lot of equipment.
Hmm.
So this is all calisthenics workout, and somehow the abdominal weight that I used to have, the waist beads, I've learned that they are intentional for me to recognize my abdominal growth
Yes.
in this aspect. Although I look a little sexy when I wear them, but what it really is helping me with is the my stomach phase, my abdominal area, where I've been working out and 2 of the beads fell off. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. So my personal trainers who's training me at the gym, they are really doing a great job. I have 3 beads that's left on, and they just drop
Come on.
underneath into those little pockets of,
Yes.
areas that I'm still working on. I'm not there yet, but it is a way to help me know that my stomach is shrinking, my
Hmm.
abdominal cavity is shrinking, and is getting very strong. So
Yes.
I really appreciate you tying into these beads, because people are just selling them. They are not tying them to a way for a measurement
Hmm.
and health and wellness. So thank you for that. And what I wanted to ask you is, why is health and fitness so important today?
I mean, it's always been important, right? It's always because
Mhm.
somehow we need to stay healthy so that we can live longer, so that we can achieve the goals that we set for ourselves, so that we can be present, so that we can be here to celebrate all the family events that we planned for in our head.
Mhm.
So, for us, I'm thinking, oh, fitness used to be just about cardio at some point. It used to be just
Mhm.
about calisthenics. It used to be being lean. And now you see that even the image in society has changed. When you look at the covers of magazines, you see that the image of what we women should look like, because really it is all about women on the covers of these magazines.
Mhm.
What we should look like, how lean we should look like. We should have flat tummies, but be well endowed with boobs and butt. Like, all these images can be very, hard for women who don't look like that, right? And so they look at those images and think to themselves, oh, I'm not healthy enough, or I'm not fit enough, or I'm not good enough, which really is chipping away at their self confidence, at their self love. For me, I want women to love themselves as is, and then figure out what their fitness looks like to them, and redefine what health also looks like to them. Because we're not all going to like the same activities, right?
Mhm.
I enjoy running. I don't. I enjoy lifting weights. I enjoy lifting heavy weights. I have friends who are like, they're Pilates princesses. They would never do that. Some people want to go sit in a hot yoga studio. So I
Mhm.
think for us, it's not letting society define health, strongly for us, but figuring out a way for us to be healthy and to be fit and to do things that we're going to be able to do consistently. And that's when I talk about the promises we make to ourselves and making sure that we're able to keep those promises.
Excellent. One concern that I want to address is, I've never seen so many women going into the weight loss rural in terms of weight loss surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's a quick fix, but they don't know the complications. And the one thing that I don't like about the weight loss surgical implications
Mm-hmm.
and what they do is they don't know that these individuals are at risk for malnourishing their bodies. So it's a quick fix, but it's a lot of women are going into that instead of thin is not always in. Women were born to be different sizes, and I don't know why everybody want to be so thin. I don't. I grew up skinny, but I didn't have anything. But I'm grateful that over the years I've formed myself and I got a little thick, okay, in the right area. So I'm grateful to be into that. But I would like to see more in the weight loss surgical programs
Mm-hmm.
is to incorporate exercise and weightlifting and more nutritional component where they meet a dietitian to help them because weight loss is not just all about losing weight.
It's
It's
not.
all about what you're eating.
And hmm, this is, a weird topic for me because I understand why some people would think that it's okay to go the weight loss surgical route because there's a sense of frustration. There's stigma with being a certain weight.
Mhm.
Overweight people don't need us to tell them they're overweight, right?
Mm-mm,
They
mm-mm,
already know. There's subtle and not subtle ways in society that tells them that they're overweight. And so I can see where they might get pushed to the wall and
mhm,
attempt to explore options. I can see where there's advertisement for weight
mhm,
loss surgery, and they're like, you know what, I'm tired of trying everything else,
mhm,
and therefore I'm going to go this route. What I'm more concerned about is the holistic wellness part of it. And that's why many times I talk about wellness is not just being skinny, it's
mhm,
how you feel about yourself. Even thinking about financial wellness is an important component of that. It's your emotional component, it's your psychological component. Because somebody who just goes in to do surgery and is just focused solely on how they're going to look at the end of a couple of months, they're not going to realize that yes, my feeding has to change. My workouts, I have to incorporate, exercise into this. I have to look at food in a different way, right?
mhm,
Somebody who's always been a foodie, who's always loved food, now they can't eat as much. That is a psychological impact on that.
mhm.
So all of these components I feel like need to be addressed even before they take that route. So they understand this is what I'm dealing with, this is what I'm going to do. And truly, I think the basis of all of these things that we as women do is because of the societal expectations
Yes.
that we don't love ourselves hard enough and we're not confident in our own selves enough to say, no, that's not what I'm going to do. Or, okay, yes, I'm going to do this, but my mindset is going to change so that after I'm done with this surgery, I know these are the steps I need to take. I know this is how my life is going to change. And I'm absolutely fine with that. Do you know what I mean?
Excellent. Yes, yes. Thank you for addressing the psychological component before they get the surgeries, the educational component that is really missing in these programs. My next question is why is Black History Month important to you?
Well, first of all, I am Nigerian, born and raised. Moved here, many years ago. I'm not going to age myself, but I feel like Black History Month is truly a month to celebrate the hard work that people have done ahead of us, to teach
Mhm,
people coming behind us what is going on now and how the past has affected the now so that they know how to figure out their futures. It is a celebration of our talent, of our contributions to the world. It is a celebration of how we show up. It's a celebration of how we can look at each other across the rooms, not say one word, but have communicated And you know, so many things have been said to each other without one word being said. It's just in the way we show up, in the way we, just love on each other, the way we,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we educate each other, the way we're passionate about the things we decide to do. Because I have not met one Black person ever who has decided to do something and has not shown up full force, full-fledged, ready to take on the world, ready to make an impact, ready to fulfill their purpose, all authentic, ready to make a difference. So, I think Black History Month just gives us an opportunity to celebrate that all month long with no shame in our game, right?
Yes,
Like,
yes.
just celebrating us. There is nothing anybody else can do. And for me personally, having moved here to the United States and being in a different country where there's definitely a disparity between us and everybody else, right? Like, it's clear that I am adapting to a new world. I am growing, I have kids who are growing here. So it's a celebration of this culture that I've adopted and I'm falling in love with. So yeah, very different.
Great, great. That was great. How did you discover your purpose in launching Timmy Beads?
Whew. This is gonna be a long story.
Go.
It is. I have to go back in time a little bit. So, I said I was born and raised in Nigeria. My parents were very strict. I'm the first daughter, first child, and honestly, I was not allowed to wear waist beads.
Mm,
Growing up, right? Because they're inherently sensual, right? So my parents were like, no, we're not gonna have our daughter walking around and people trying to take advantage of her or thinking she's fast. None of that. So that's part one. So after kids, I did not love my body, right? I was just like, what is going on? I can't seem to put a halt on this weight gain. I can't lose the weight. Like, I was fluctuating back and forth. I was getting on the scale and just getting sad from the numbers. And as hard as I worked, I felt like the scale truly did not depict the amount of work I was doing. So my sister was going to Nigeria, and I told her, "Could you just bring me back some waist beads? Like, I'm going to start using those to track myself instead of the scale." She brought me back some, and I started doing the work. I did not step on a scale anymore. And one day I stood up, and they literally fell off me. You
mm,
said that you were experiencing, right?
yes,
Fell off me, and in that moment, the sense of achievement that I felt, I
yes,
was like, come on, like, with no stress of the numbers on the scale yelling at me,
yes.
feeling that accomplishment, having hyped myself up in the mirror every day, having looked at myself in the mirror and appreciating the parts of myself, falling in love with myself all over again. I wanted other women to feel that. I wanted other women to just, that self confidence, that boost. I wanted other people to feel that. And that's when Tammy Beat was birthed. Because truly, when you think about self confidence in women, you don't realize that it affects a lot different aspects of our lives. It affects how we show up for our communities. It affects how we show up for our families. It affects how we show up at work.
Mhm,
Self-confident women don't get the jobs that they go for. They don't even apply for the jobs that they're qualified for, right? So
mhm.
self-confidence is a huge part. Self-love is a huge part of even how we as women are able to achieve the goals that we set for ourselves. So I wanted other women to feel that way. I wanted them not to be stressed out by the scale because, again, there's that bias in society of, oh, you know what? She's a big girl. She doesn't deserve.
Mhm.
She shouldn't have. She shouldn't be showing up like that. That's why you see people sometimes that there's a thin line between body positivity and body shame, and sometimes people don't know when they've crossed it. It's like, oh no, I want women to know that you are worth it. You should love yourself first. You should be
Mhm.
confident. You should take on the world. And you shouldn't worry about the numbers on the scale. Worry about yourself. Focus on your goals, and just set out and set the world on fire. And truly, that's how Tammy Beads was birthed.
Wow, that was really an amazing story. And Thank you for really sharing. I know we touched a little bit on because both of us said this. Is there a trend in keeping stats on the inches within the waist beads or your abdominal inches? How do you measure the abdominal girth? And how do we use the waist beads to help us to support that weight loss? People focus so much on the scale,
Mm-hmm.
which you touched on, but they don't really focus on the inches
Mm-hmm.
that is being lost.
Right.
So that is very important as
Mm-hmm.
well. Just as much, if you're losing inches, you're also, you must be gaining muscle
Also.
in that area.
Mm-hmm.
So you may not see as on the scale as much as the weight loss, but you can see your body toning
Yes, you can see
and shrinking.
yes, you can see your body changing. And the thing about the waist bead is like, when I meet my clients and I'm fitting the waist beads to them, my question is, how tight or loose do you want it? Because I want them to be comfortable as well. So I typically say, let's put it above your belly button, right? Because that's where women start getting big,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's where it starts. That's where you can really see it. So put it around your belly button or maybe a little bit above wherever the bulge kind of starts. And
Mm-hmm.
then go about and mind your business. You can shower in them. You
Yes.
live life in your waist beads. Like they're
Mm-hmm.
intentionally non-stretch and
Mm-hmm.
permanently tied onto you. So when
Mm-hmm.
you're doing the work and the work is working, you start seeing them fall. You start feeling them fall. My goal with you being wasted is that anytime you see them, anytime you feel them, even if it's a quick little pinch, you stop, right? And just tell yourself, you know what, body, I love you. Body, I appreciate the hard work you do. Body, I'm working on you, but I love you as is. I'm working on you to get you better, but I love you as is. Do you know what I mean? Like just that self hype and learning how to love your body as is while working towards a better version of you. And that's what I really, really, truly hope that women are doing as they're doing the work, as they're staying consistent, as they're reminded to drink their water, eat good food, take a walk after dinner or go to the gym, whatever consistent things that you can slowly introduce into your life to achieve the goals that you've set for yourself.
Great. I follow you on Instagram, and I know I just told you this that during your workouts are so positive and attractive. I really get. I mean, girl, you are. I don't know if you go back and watch yourself, and then the music that you put into it. I mean, it is so amazing. Make me say, "Oh, I got to get myself up and go work out." You are very dedicated to your purpose and I like to say your purposeful journey of health.
Yeah.
And that's amazing to see. So I want to give you kudos for the work that you put in. You're not just selling a product, you actually living in this space. Help us learn why you are very compassionate about really this journey. I know you gave us a little bit, but purpose is tied to this.
Whew. Um, I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I have kids. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a nurse. I'm all the things. And I know that people have to show up in their own spaces as all the things as well, right? And I know it's hard. I know it is hard. Trust me, if you go back, I think years now I've been posting my dance videos post workouts. And for me, it truly is to show that I am grateful for the opportunity to move my body. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I am grateful for the chance to show up at this gym in spite of everything else that I had going on. That I made the choice, I found the time, I came here to work out, I did my hour, I lifted heavy. It's going to hurt later, but it is so worth it. So those are the dance videos that you see is a celebration of the work that I have done, of the opportunity to even show up because life is lifing, and it's not just
Mhm.
lifing for me. I know it's lifing for my followers. I know it's lifing for my clients. And so when I share that, I truly hope that they understand that I am empathizing with them. I am walking in their shoes. I know it is hard, but I'm also sharing that it is possible to do this.
Mhm. Great, great. Now the podcast finally, Change Builds Authenticity podcast is all about changed.
Mhm.
Change. What changed you in your walk to become more authentic?
Falling in love with myself.
Mm-hmm.
It truly has made such a huge difference because
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to dim my light for anybody else to succeed. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have to dim their light. I don't have to compete with anybody else. I am confident in who I am. I know I can show up in spaces as who I am. I am actually more interested in collaborating with other people and
Mm-hmm.
seeing them grow. The nursing side of me is willing to jump out and be like, what do you need? How can I help? What can I help you? Like, how can we get you to next level? Because, I might not be there yet, but I may know people who might get you to where you need to be. Just loving me, being confident in me has shown me that I can use my candle, my lit candle that is shining so bright, to light somebody else's without losing anything at all. And I think that makes a huge, difference in how I live life, in how I found peace, in how I set my boundaries, and how I live life authentically.
Which is, I want to say, very attractive in a space that wants to be a part of who you are. Dr. Feyi, I want to thank you. I literally want to thank you for joining the Change Builds Authenticity podcast. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Have anybody who ever want to be a guest get in touch with us. Happy Black History Month. And I hope you're taking the time out to enjoy every moment of this month because it's all about us.
Yes.
It's all about us. We get 1 month to celebrate ourselves.
Yes.
And if we don't celebrate ourselves, nobody else is.
Yep.
So your confidence and your candle and that light is really shining, and everybody is here, like myself, watching. Keep up the amazing work that you're doing in the
Thank
community.
you. Thank
Until next time.
you.
Thank you, Dr. Faye.
Thanks for having me.